To be honest, it doesn't really hit me. I don't. It's rare that somebody tells me that and I try to put myself in their shoes. I have felt that way. I'm a big music fan, obviously. I'm fans of a lot of artists and producers and stuff, and I can relate, but it doesn't feel real when people say it to me. So I don't know. I think it's okay. Maybe it keeps me down to earth or something. I don't know. I'm flattered. I be flattered when people say that to me, but I try not to dwell on it. I just want to, I don't know. It's nice being like everybody else sometimes.
I want to ask you one last question about like the music creative process and what it can try to do. What are your thoughts on music and social justice? Can you use music for social justice? Does it have an impact?
Of course. I think the biggest impact is healing, though.
Talk about it, bro.
I was actually talking about this earlier in another interview. I don't like to talk about politics. And thankfully, I don't think our fans really want us to talk about politics anyway. I get more likes and retweets when I'm talking about new music that I'm about to drop or that we're about to drop. I could say, Donald Trump, and people are like, no, okay. They might agree, they might disagree, but it ultimately doesn't matter. I feel like as an artist, you just gotta be honest with yourself. And that doesn't mean, if you support this candidate or this candidate that you have to go rally for it. That just means you have to hold up your responsibility as a citizen and vote for who you want in office and just be human like everybody else. I think ultimately the best thing we can do as artists is create a sense of healing, a safe place maybe for people. And I don't know, it's hard to talk about politics as I'm sure for any public figure, because it's hard to win. It's divided. It's always divided. These elections come kind of close sometimes. So you're never gonna please everybody when you start talking about politics. But as long as you can be honest, true people will always respect that, whether they agree with you or not. And that's awesome. So personally, when it comes to making music, writing songs and stuff about politics, I try to keep it ambiguous. I feel angst. But I'm not gonna be like, fuck this candidate or fuck this candidate. I'm just be like, I'm frustrated, right? Everybody's frustrated. Everybody on both sides right now are frustrated. And we can appeal to that. Everybody can kind of relate. And it's honest when we write about it.
So I'm gonna flip it up a little bit. The internet, not the band, but the internet. What do you think about the internet? What is the internet to you?
It's a great tool. That's for sure. I don't know. We probably wouldn't be here. Definitely wouldn't be here if it weren't for the internet. You know, my partner Matt, who I started the group with, is from Atlanta, and we would not have met if it weren't for MySpace. So I think I love the internet. That's why we kept the band name, honestly, because we ultimately met on the internet. But,
is it true that it kind of came up as a joke?
Yes.
You know, like too many people are asking where y'all from, where you from. It was one band member in particular. It's like, I'm from the internet.
It was Left Brain from Odd Future. Matt had this like real random apartment in LA when he first moved to LA, and we had started just going over there listening to Amy Winehouse and making beats. And Left Brain was there. A friend of ours was shooting a documentary on music production, and she asked Left Brain, like, where are you from? What's your name? Where you from? Man, I hate when people ask me that. I'm gonna start telling people I'm from the internet, man. I'm from MySpace. We're like, yo. like, yo, what if that's what we call ourselves? I was like, that'd be hilarious. And it stuck. We couldn't think of a better name. Thank you.
It's like, it's one of those things that you say, why didn't I think about that first? Why didn't I think about
That's ultimately what that was Matt's logic in keeping the name, was like, yo, if we can make this work, we'll be legendary. If we can like call ourselves the internet, people Google the internet and we pop up.
I think that moment has already happened.
Yeah, we're on Google.
So I just have like a few more little questions, and then we'll open it up to folks, and then you can ask what's on your mind. So I also create music. I play piano. I'm actually producing. I've always liked production. I had Fruity Loops back in the day.
Yeah.
I had Reason.
I'm still using Fruity Loops.
I know.
Yeah, Hit Boy made the first song on my album on Fruity Loops.
Really?
Yeah.
And then I had a friend who gave me a cracked version. I shouldn't admit this, but a cracked version of Reason.
Hey, look, I'm still using the cracked version of Waves plugin. Leave that out.
That is production. And so it was great, and I admire the fact that you worked with Reason, because that was something it was a program it didn't make intuitive sense to me. So I commend you. But now my weapon of choice, it seems, is Ableton.
We all just switched to Ableton.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we all just switched to Ableton. Everybody but Matt. Matt's the last one. Matt's still on Logic. Because the Verispeed, Matt just fell in love with Verispeed on Logic, which is when you can like change the pitch and the tempo and stuff.
Oh, really?
Chop and screw stuff, like.
Clean and dry.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about gear? Talk about your gear. Talk about your production method.
My Tube Tech came the
your
other day.
toys. Like I think there are plenty music nerds here. I think there are a handful of production nerds, secret production nerds too.
Are there? I know y'all make beats, right? Anybody else in music production, engineering? Okay.
Right. So for all the production nerds here, can you talk about your gear, your toys?
So for those of you who will understand, I have like 3 studios set up in my house. I have one on each floor.
Okay, sis.
You know, we work our way up. Came from little. So, okay, basement, we have the main studio, which is where we recorded most of Ego Death. And down there, I got Pro Tools HD running off the 192 interface. I got like a little Avalon preamp down there. Beautiful Neumann mic. First floor, main floor is our rehearsal room. We got like Chris's drum set. We got like the bass amp, the guitar amp. I got a live mixing console in there that I learned how to use. And it's really fun. And that's where we rehearse most of the time. I started recording down there recently because we actually just put together a portable studio in like a roller case. It's fire. Nah, it's like one cable. I plug one cable into my laptop, dog, and I can record 8 mics at once. Nothing. So that's fire. So we just started recording little stuff in my rehearsal room with that setup. And then in my bedroom, I have a little studio that I recorded my album in. And that's just like, I have like a foldy table like this. I got my DirecTV box, right? I got an Xbox on top of the DirecTV box, and then I got like a computer monitor. I just plugged my laptop into the bigger screen, and then I got Pro Tools. I got Logic and Ableton up there. I got a little a nice little preamp, UA Twinfinity right there, going into a claret interface. But I'm about to get an Apollo Twin, if anyone knows what that is, because it's fire.
For those who don't know, what is it? What does it do?
An Apollo Twin is an interface, so it's basically the middleman between your microphone and your laptop and your computer. It's how you plug a microphone into a computer, basically. And they made a little one, it's called a Twin, and it's just got 2 microphone inputs on it. It's like this big. You can sit it on your desk. You've got everything right there on one knob. You click the knobs, do different features. It's fire. I love it. I've only messed with it a couple times, but
Is
not
that,
the cop.
is that the
No, okay, so what I was telling him, I just bought a Tube Tech, which is a compressor. Does anybody know what a compressor is? Okay, some of you.
break it down. Break it down.
Okay, a compressor. So say I record and I'm like, and I get loud as fuck. You know, you get quiet and loud. A compressor basically evens it out for you. It'll turn all the quiet signals, it'll make them a little louder, and it'll turn all the loud ones, bring it down a little bit for you to even it out so that when you record stuff, you're not in there like adjusting volumes for every line, every bar. And I just got a really beautiful $3,000 compressor.
Yes.
It's the compressor I've always wanted though, so it's worth it.
Which one is that?
The Tube Tech,
Oh,
yeah,
the Tube
it's
Tech.
like a big blue one. If you guys ever end up in a studio, they probably have one. It's like a big blue box.
But I have to ask you a question about the bass, because the low frequencies is where I personally like to live. If I could move to low frequency, I would live there. I've never had it.
It's comfortable.
It's a
comfy
comfortable,
down
warm, fantastic
there.
anyway, so, what about the bass? What about your bass drums? What about, and that makes me want to ask a question about trap, obviously, and those different kind of styles of production. So, talk about the bass.
I mean, everybody loves bass, right? I think. I grew up going to reggae festivals a lot.
Yes.
And live bass is a huge thing in reggae music. So I grew up on those vibrations. So when it came down for me performing, like as a singer, I needed live bass. Straight up. Live bass is really fire. And technology is crazy. So like our bass player Patrick, he just got this pedal that he can plug his bass into that makes it sound like a synth. Like a synth bass. It's lit. Like like we were at the last day of rehearsal, he decides to start playing with it, and I'm like, you gonna wait till the last day we're here? Just But anyway, bass is really important. It's really actually difficult sometimes. There's times where we're performing, and if the bass is too loud on stage, I'm gonna go off key. I'm gonna just be singing off key, cause like the bass is it's a weird frequency where sometimes it'll sound like it's in a different key, you know? So it's tricky. There are a lot of tricks to blending bass in with kick drums, with mostly kick drums. That's the hard part, is getting a bass guitar and a kick drum to sit on top of one another and not clash. It's little things that as a listener you're not probably thinking about, but if I record a bass line on top of like an 808, it's too much. Like you gotta take frequencies out of something and even it out. It's cool. The less is more tactic. I try to go for that. Less is more.
Can you talk more about the drums? Live drums, but also drum production?
My drummer right here. Shoot, what you want? You wanna say something? Come on, bro.
I was actually cheers ago. Oh. All right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, how you doing?
Talk about drums and bass, right?
Well,
What
right
the
now,
drums?
right now we're just talking about drums,
Now,
but live drums and then drum production.
Right, live, okay, now with live drums, now that's cool. Now we actually just crossed a barrier with live drums with these little shows because I finally got my set of power. So, with that being